back in my chunky table. See if it goes, what it goes to voicemail.
Hello?
Hi, is this Keith?
This is Keith.
Hey Keith, it's Leigh Maibes. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to call and follow up with you yesterday about the calls and texts to my broker.
Yeah, that was just me. I let them know. Yes.
So I'm still unclear about why you let them know as a police officer why you would call my place of business and use a Twitter account that I use an alias under to hand over to my boss.
Yeah, I was just letting the city businessmen know in the city that if their phones were blowing up, that's what it was from, because I saw in there that people were going to be calling, and that was it.
Where did you see that people were going to be calling my boss? Because I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, it was on one of the feeds.
So why would... Okay, so why would you... I mean, like, so you know, like, to me, this feels like intimidation because you are an officer that patrols my area and an officer I've also had contact with about trying to resolve some issues on my street. So were you doing that for my benefit?
No, I wasn't doing it for your benefit. I was just doing it to let them know that if their phones were going to be ringing off the hook, that was why. That was it.
Why did you think that was your place to do that?
Because I deal with all the businesses at South Patrol.
Okay, because I thought you were District 1. Is that District 1 all the way over there in Hampton?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was that?
I thought you were District 1. So is that District 1 all the way over there on Hampton?
No, but it's South Patrol, and I do the businesses in South Patrol. But some of the tweets and some of the things were just that I was seeing was just insightful. So that's why, I just wanted to let him know. And he did tell me, Mr. Hayden told me that he had received several calls, and he thanked me, and he just said that
they were insightful on my behalf.
Yes.
Oh, what was insightful on my behalf?
Being involved in the NOM, with the neighborhood stuff that we do, it's just contrary to what we do in the neighborhood with the citizens.
Being involved in what? I'm sorry, with what?
The neighborhood ownership model, us working with you in the neighborhood.
So I'm insightful because I'm contrary to the neighborhood ownership model?
One of the things that were on there were insightful.
My tweets are insightful?
Yes.
How are my tweets insightful?
Okay, well, I'm done with this conversation.
Well, I'm not because you called my job. So my question is, I don't understand how my tweets are insightful and against the neighborhood ownership model.
No, me calling your job is not in violation of any law.
It's not in violation of any law.
No.
And it doesn't constitute police harassment and or intimidation to stop my activism work.
No, not at all.
It doesn't. And you believe that?
Yeah, it was not my intent at all.
So your intent was just to let my broker know? Was that before or after the chief of police called you?
I was just letting him know that if his phone was ringing off the hook, which he said it was, that was why.
No, he didn't say it was. There were only 2 calls received. Several calls from you and one call from somebody else that's questionable. So now you're accusing me of being insightful. You sent
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't understand what your point is.
Well, I don't understand what your point is because you can't tell me what anything that I have put on Twitter is insightful and how it goes against neighborhood ownership model. That doesn't make any sense to me, Keith. And I think you know me. I've worked very, very tirelessly for historic preservation. historic preservation and improving homes in the city.
Gotcha. So you think that your tweets were appropriate and everything is fine then, as far as what you say against police and all that?
I don't say anything against police. I have a problem with police brutality. Is that being against police?
Well, that's your opinion, and you can have that opinion, but.
So saying that I'm against police brutality and I don't like the way that the police handled female activists and abused them, and some of the things that were done to silence, track, and intimidate activists, that's insightful and that's not contributing to my community, and it's the antithesis of the community ownership model, because Black people and demonstrators don't live in your community.
I really don't want to engage in this conversation anymore, okay, Leigh?
Okay, well, just know this. I feel intimidated, and I have put people on notice. If anything happens near my house, or if I get a rash of pulling over my sister that lives 2 blocks up the street, I will continue this conversation, okay?
All righty. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, say the date and time, just for a timestamp.
Date and time, October 15th at 7:16 p.m. That was Officer Keith Navarra, the one that contacted my broker and boss yesterday to give him a quote-unquote heads up that there were many people that were going to call my place of business because he saw that. Miraculously, there's only been 2 people that called him multiple times, and another lady that may or may not have been a real person. I don't know if you guys could hear everything that he said, but he basically said that I was against the neighborhood ownership model because my tweets were insightful because they were against the police. I've never come out stating that I'm against the police. I'm against police brutality. I'm against some of the tactics that are being used against the activists and the way they're being treated. And I'm also against trying to silence the media and filming. So there we go. So there you go. I called him myself with the number that was provided by my boss.